everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Trek in the Valley, the podcast where myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my co-host with the mo-host,
hey, how's it going? It's Al Hirt.
Mr. Al Hirt, get together at an undisclosed location off Auto Road to have a non-encyclopedic discussion of an episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah, we pretty much just shoot the shit.
We talk about it, and wow, these episodes are funny and weird and old. We watch the remastered versions on Paramount Plus if you want to follow along.
The effects are great, as we always mention.
Looks great. Some good eye candy in terms of remastering classic visual effects. It's great. Good stuff.
Especially the little light monsters or whatever light energy things that they encounter are always crazy.
Because it used to be like a crinkled up piece of paper, but now it's like a crinkled up piece of paper on an iPad. So we basically, last week, we discussed a very interesting episode called Patterns of Force.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
my gosh.
What do you remember, Al, about Patterns of Force?
Just the, I don't know, it just felt kind of forced, and the whole, what was it? That guy, there was one dude who was in charge of, like, his logic was using the, what is it? The
Nazis.
Third Reich?
Yeah,
like,
because they're efficient.
But yeah, efficiency or something. Oh, what was it? Yeah, it was like the quote you were saying. It was like, oh, it's all those people. It was the trains. The trains ran on time.
Yeah, the trains ran on time.
God, jeez.
I fucking love that episode because they're like, well, what?
Like, well, duh. It'd go terribly.
Well, yeah, the guy said we were waiting. Kirk was waiting for this guy's exclamation as to why he did this, and the guy was like, oh, I did it because I'm a Nazi.
Yeah,
like, it's like, oh, he's just. Oh, yeah, you just thought that the Nazis did everything right. And then Spock was like, it's clear that he thought that with a benign government, the efficiency of the Third Reich would create a wonderful planet. And I just feel like that guy was like dying off camera, and he was like, no, I'm really a Nazi. I think that other people are worse than me and my people. No, you're getting it wrong, Spock. I'm full of hate in the future. Fucking hilarious.
So yeah.
And it's just that it's the trend of, it really reminded me of Nazi version of Gangster Planet.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And if I'm recalling correctly, that guy, John Kerry or whatever the fuck his name was from Federation that started the Third Reich on Nazi Planet, he's only been there for 4 years.
Whoa.
So 4 years was enough time for him to establish a Nazi party, take over the world, and then lose it all to actual, quote-unquote, actual Nazis, or Nazis, as Kirk pronounced it. And
Nazis.
Yeah, it was just fucking wild. And there was that attractive Nazi lady. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, it was a whole like, oh, I thought I can get it right this time, but it was never...
It wasn't
not a good base.
It was never
not a good foundation here.
It's like in Rick and Morty when they meet the observers in this new season, and Morty goes, yeah, this guy is here to prove that I was lying, and no surprise, people who would choose that job aren't fun to be around. It's like never a good idea. But so that was Patterns of Force last week, and this week we are discussing an episode called By Any Other Name.
Oh.
Now, what do you know about By Any Other Name? Like, do you know where that quote comes from?
No.
It's a Shakespeare sonnet.
Oh,
As a rose by any other name would be as sweet or whatever. So even if you called a rose a piece of shit, it would still smell like a rose.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Shakespeare. He had some good ideas. And so this episode, it aired on, well, first off, it's the 22nd episode of season 2. And therefore, it is the 22nd episode of season 2 of Trek in the Valley. That's cool.
Yep, latter half here.
And this aired on February 23rd, 1968. Now, here's where I kind of feel like a dummy, because I always do this joke when I read the date where I like don't know how many years it's been, and I'm always like, it was 60-something years ago. Right? It's not. It's 56 years ago. So I was even wrong about the being dumb in a joke. So it's 56 years ago, almost to the week, because this episode is probably going to release around Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So this will be about the 56. These are all this season, basically the 56-year anniversary of when the episodes aired. That's
and also,
pretty cool.
There's a lot of love that happens in this episode, too.
Oh, my God. I totally forgot because I've been focused on the next episode.
Yeah,
so to go back to this one.
Segue here.
Yeah, so
from Valentine's Day.
The synopsis from Paramount Plus, which we love, speaking of Shakespeare.
Yeah, wait, how do they say it?
This says, an extragalactic beings commandeer the Enterprise in an attempt to return home.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's that's pretty straightforward.
We're probably too baked to do this game, but it would be funny if we did it like we read the synopsis and then we tried to guess which episode it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll try, maybe for a bonus episode we'll do that.
There's a lot of spoilers too.
They are very spoilerific, so that's why it'd be good to do it after we've seen them all. And also so we know what they are.
Yeah, we need to see the names.
So we're going to discuss the episode. We usually play it on a little screen here, so we'll pause it for a second and we'll I'll wait for a specific quote and all that. But so and then at the end we'll rate it and talk about the title. So this starts with two amazing shots back to back.
Yeah, it does. It kicks off with a dope backdrop to the planet they land on.
Yeah, so the Enterprise is orbiting a very Earth-looking planet, except it looks like there's just one huge continent. And Enterprise looks fantastic and remastered, and then boom, you get this amazing backdrop. And I really wish I'd have watched the special effects side by side because I wonder how much they cleaned up the colors of that. You know,
maybe it was just like some matte painting.
I mean,
actually, who knows?
Yeah, it looked fucking great. And
it's like a lot of work for a TV show, you know?
So they're basically on this planet because there was what was it? Was this another one where they're going after like a distress call? Yeah. So the crew is getting a weird distress call and Spock gets some readings on a small metal disc. And then they've got to go find
a ship that crashed.
Yeah, they think it was like a ship that crashed that was doing a distress call. And then two motherfucking human people walk out of nowhere, out of the woods.
It reminds me of the creepy episode where like they just landed on a random planet and that one guy was like, hey, and he was just waving.
Yeah.
And he just walks in the distance up to them.
Is that from Cochrane?
Yeah. The one who was lost.
Exactly. So Kirk introduces himself to this man and woman. The man looks like Arya Stark's older sister. Who's the Stark? What's the Stark? The middle Stark child? So the one who was in that bad New Mutants movie looks like
he
her.
Has a sword. The one with the sword.
Yeah,
that's how I know.
She's one of the many sword wielders.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, so we got hung up talking about Game of Thrones, and some shit popped off on screen.
Oh yeah, they have these cool little belt things.
So this man and this woman are like, "Hey, thanks for coming, Captain. Now surrender your ship to me."
He's like, what?
And this guy says, I am Rojan. I am your commander this moment on. He says the humans must face the end of their existence as they've known it. And then it cuts to the credits.
Like, yeah, all right.
But like you
they
said,
get frozen.
Yeah, so Kirk tries to put up some resistance, and then the guy presses a button on his belt, and it makes that classic, it makes like...
and they're like...
It makes something like this, and then they freeze. Then they're frozen in place. Let's watch that again. Kirk is like smiling about this professor-looking motherfucker saying he's going to take his ship.
It's just right off the start, you know.
And they touch their belt, and then boom, the crew members freeze.
I feel like Bones too in this scene did a special pose on purpose too to stand out.
You think so? Let me see.
It's hard to hold it though, because you see what's his name, Rogan?
Yeah, Rojan of
Kelva. This is like. What's the word? So what's going on is that they're all basically frozen in space, and that Rojan's basically Rojan.
Yeah, that's it.
Rojan is just basically saying we're going to kick your ass, and we're going to take your ship and boost it and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So your usual steal the ship and head out.
I feel like what's crazy too about this episode though is that like we have the overpowered super aliens or whatever. But they're actually attacking them, the Enterprise this time.
Well, also...
It isn't like just gods or whatever. I don't know.
we find out
intense.
later that they're not really all powerful. They just have a belt thing that can freeze people. Like, you can still punch them in their fucking face and they're like, ow.
Yeah, and no, but then it gets a little more meta about like who they actually are and like what their real form is and shit.
Oh yeah,
that's when it gets weird.
All the tentaclets.
Yeah, I just had a really weird, what's it called? Like the Thing kind of idea.
Oh yeah,
what they could be.
Or like a Lovecraft. There's like Lovecraft monsters, like the that have like all the eye stalks and shit.
Anyways, so they're caught.
So they're caught, and now they got to surrender the ship. The neural field is what they talk about.
Yes, that's what it is.
And so here's in the episode, this is a rare title card where it's not in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a title card for by any other name, and everybody's still frozen. You're paralyzed by a selective field, he says. And the reason they need to take the Enterprise, Al... Why do they need the Enterprise?
They need to go back home because they went through, he said, oh, you know the outer rim, the boundary? And he's like, oh, yes, we are very familiar with that. And I was like, yes.
No, it was great. He goes, so okay, we got to pause this for a second. They crashed
through it, right?
Yeah, so they're from the Andromeda Galaxy.
Andromeda, yeah.
Which is a different galaxy.
That's like 700 light years away or something?
It's far as fuck away.
Yeah.
And there's a barrier between the galaxies. And it's funny because they actually deal with this barrier in Star Trek Discovery as well.
Oh, okay.
And probably every other Star Trek.
True, yeah.
So they are coming from the Andromeda Galaxy, and they're coming here to look for a galaxy that they can conquer and occupy.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
And they broke through... they broke through, and now they're stranded on this planet, and they need a ship that can take them back to the Andromeda Galaxy. And that's pretty much the whole deal.
And Kirk tries to plead with them too. He's like, hey, I mean, you don't really need to do this by force. Like, let the Federation help you. There's plenty of planets here that are habitable and like to colonize and stuff. And Rojan's like, no, we don't colonize, we conquer, we rule. Kelvin Empire is what they call themselves, right?
Yeah, the Kelvin Empire. They're the Kelvins.
The Kelvin.
So Kirk says, sorry, this galaxy's already occupied, and
the whole galaxy too.
Yeah, exactly. and so this guy's like, oh, you think you're so badass and your ship is so impregnable? Boom, and then everybody freezes on the ship. Or wait, what happens? But while we've talked, the capture has already begun. Here's what's fucked up about...
this is clever, though. They don't freeze it all immediately, Adam.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They beam up. They beam up. And we got Purple Shirt, who looks like a guy who's in... I'm so bad at actors' names, but everybody on this episode looks like some other motherfucker that's doing acting now. So one thing I want to mention about the Kelvins.
Yeah.
So they're he said in 50 millennia or something... radiation in the Andromeda Galaxy is going to kill all their people, right?
Okay.
So they're looking for galaxies to conquer, right?
Right.
And so I guess what they want to do is have the Enterprise crew take them back to Andromeda, and then they're going to bring everybody back.
That was the thing I didn't get. It was like they were going to conquer, but then they're like, well, wait, but we gotta fix our ship first, though. We're not just going to... conquer now.
Yeah, why didn't it's so
we
strange.
Crashed here, so we made a hole in the barrier now, so maybe we'll just go back through that hole. Yeah, and it's a very good point.
And
I don't know.
Freezing everybody. Like so
and there's some species 5 or 6 of them too.
But why wouldn't more of them just come? Like, why wouldn't they all just? How many neighboring galaxies are there? Oh, probably a million.
They said, well, the Spock brings that up though. Spock's like, why don't you just call them? And Rojan's like, oh, we can't communicate with them because it's too far or something. But they say they'll upgrade their ship, so then they'll get there in 300 years instead of 700.
And he goes, it's your great grandson Kirky that's gonna take us to Andromeda.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ! And also, this is where we meet when the Kelvins are up on the ship freezing everybody.
They meet the rest of the crew.
This is where we meet this fucking chode. Oh man, I think his name is Haram. Or let's see here, it's Hanar.
Hanar, yes.
Oh my God, what a chode!
Hanar the hater.
Yeah, dude, he's bad news. He really looks like a wanker. Like you'd have to watch the episode.
He's the one that takes over the bridge.
Yeah, he's.
It's smart though. They break it down. One takes over the engines, the other one takes over life support, and then the third one takes over the bridge. Mm-hmm. And boom, there to get the ship. Sorry, go ahead.
And well, no, there she's explaining now, the one who looks like Arya Stark's older sister. She's explaining that we were on a generation ship, so it was like our parents that brought us here.
We don't know.
Oh, man. Oh, and this is what I wanted to mention. You kind of talked about it, but he goes, there's an energy barrier at the rim of your galaxy. And Kirk is like, yeah, I know, we've been there. Like, that's how he says. It's the funniest shit.
We almost died.
6 minutes and 35 seconds. Kirk says, the rim of your galaxy, energy barrier. He goes, yes, I know, we've been there. Just throws it out like, yeah, we're the only ship in the Federation that's been to the edge of the fucking galaxy, but whatever, we're the Enterprise.
No, yeah, that was such a good episode too.
No transmission can penetrate the barrier. They're always talking about penetration in this fucking show.
Well, they penetrated the ship already, Adam. So
while they were talking, I just want to get to where they turn those people into dice.
Oh my god, that part's so dark.
Yeah, Hanar comes down and is like, all's proceeding according to plan.
So you're like, okay, yeah, they took over the ship, big whoop. Every episode the ship's taken hostage, right? Yeah. And it feels like the stakes aren't really that high. Until the cube scene, dice scene.
Right. I think we're going to get back to the Enterprise. That's weird. They showed the Enterprise and then they cut back to the fucking planet.
They're all frozen. I mean.
But that's so strange. It's like usually they use that as a transition from the ground to the bridge or something.
True.
So this is where they're like, Hanar is saying, look, man, we got to get out of here. But they're talking about the planet where they live. It just feels like they're bored and tired of it. The Kelvins. But just like the goddamn people in 2 episodes ago, this guy's like, to feel, to see again.
Oh,
like
the heightened senses.
Yeah, the heightened senses of people who did not have bodies, human bodies before.
We take it for granted, I guess.
This is interesting. The guy says, the main Kelvin says, at least we'll be away from all the openness on this planet. We weren't made to be out in the open. We got to be in a ship, man.
Weird.
Yeah, well, it's because they were born in a fucking ship. They're a generation. They're from a generation ship.
And they're made to conquer.
And then Spock and Kirk are, and a couple red shirts, and Bones are in a rock prison. And they still haven't turned them into dice yet.
No, they tried to. It's because of a punishment. That's why they try to escape, but I forget how.
So Spock does a mind thing. Spock tries to. Yeah,
that's right.
So that's coming up now. So Kirk is talking to. So Shay, this officer, wants to kill these guys, the Kelvins, and Kirk's like, "You'll get your chance, but under orders."
Well, this is like what we were just talking about at the beginning, where it was like, "Oh, they just have belts. If we can just take the belts, there's 6 of them. There's 400 of us on the ship."
So they were discussing that. We fast forwarded through it here, but basically they say that there's got to be some sort of power source for the paralysis field. And so
the Adonis situation.
Kirk brings up a previous episode now, which is always good when they reference past stuff. He says, on MNR7, you were able to trick the guard. You remember that when Spock was like, when the guard opened the door?
Yeah, like through the wall.
And so, because he led him to believe that they'd escaped.
Yeah,
so the guy opened the door and was like, what's going on? And they just ran out by him. Good stuff. So now Kirk tries to... Spock tries... Tell them what they're doing. I got to find out this lady's name.
Spock's going to try to do this... I guess it's kind of like a faraway mind meld, like kind of, what is it called? Like
he's just going to try and suggest.
Telekinesis.
Yeah, he's going to try and be suggestive. And then he gets exploded.
Kelvins are so strong. She just whips her hair back and he flies across the room. But again, the door opens anyways.
And
Kirk
she comes in and Kirk knocks her out with a single chop. So are they all powerful or can they be knocked out with a single chop?
I don't know. I mean, it's crazy that she stopped Bones, too. And they even make a point of that, too, in a later scene when Bones is like, you really got your ass kicked back there. And Spock's like, no, I'm all right. And he's like, no, like, you're really, like, you're out of breath, dude.
Yeah, you're fucked up, dude.
So it's pretty scary to see. And immediately, as soon as they run out, I was thinking, like, why don't they look around for a little bit before they just run straight out? They're pretty smart. But they get frozen and boom. We get right into
this is the rock. Yeah, this is the dice time. So character I'm thinking about is Sansa Stark, and she's
Stark.
played by Sophie Turner.
Oh, she does look like Sophie Turner.
Yeah, she looks fucking exactly like her.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, dude? It's like that time when Tim Robinson was in that episode.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
true.
It's just like a red shirt just nodding, and it's like, did they fucking put Tim Robinson in this episode? I mean, what the hell? So then Sophie Turner comes out of the cave, gets her belt pack back from Kirk, and they're like, hey, if you don't take this seriously...
It was super creepy how simple it was. But that's why we associate Hanar being the asshole, though, because
that guy's got some thick makeup on, dude.
Ready to go.
Warren Stevens, the actor who plays Rojan, man, he's got some fucking makeup on him.
So they line them up kind of up on this hill.
Yeah, they take the red shirts up on this little hill. Kirk is like trying to comfort the red shirt lady. He didn't do anything to Shay, the red shirt man, of course.
Yeah.
And then they touch their belt, and let's see here. Did they do it already?
Rojan's like, no, he's taking his time. Rojan's like, hey, I know how it feels. You care about other people in your crew.
You care about your crew? That's great.
More than yourself. That is a good thing.
But... and they really milk this moment.
Being a dick.
Hanar pushes his belt, and whoops, it turns them into little dice.
Yeah, they kind of look like a deck. What is it, like 10 dice? 10
it looks like
dice?
a 12-sided die from Dungeons and Dragons. It looks like a 12-sided die, but they're all kind of different shapes. They're not regular shapes. This is when we see more later.
Yeah, and it's cool when you look at them on the inside. It'd be kind of cool to put that on your desk, though.
Yeah, it's like you know that Price is Right game where they put the huge dice in the dice slots?
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of like the Dungeons and Dragons version of that. But anyway, that's their crewmen. They turned them into weird dice that are about the size of a softball. And then
it's kind of like we sucked all the water out of them. This is all that's left.
Says this is everything, and we can bring them back. We can reconstitute them, but not if we crush it. And then he crushes one of them, and she's just dead. And then you're like, which one was it? I wonder. And then we find out when Hanar it was the lady.
And you're like, no.
Shay lives. And Kirk is bummed. Oh, Kirk always gets bummed when his crew dies.
Oh, yeah, his crew dies often.
Yeah, it is the hell ship.
Yeah, right.
I have this Game of Thrones cast list up in front of me now, and I keep thinking that it's the list for the Star Trek we're watching. I'm like, Amelia Clark is in this shit? What the fuck? Bones is trying to baby Spock here. You didn't look very well when you broke that mind touch.
He's just trying to bullshit him, you know.
What was it? Spock is talking about what busted up his mind melts. It was a series of bizarre and exotic images.
He said he basically saw their whole life, sort of.
Colors, shapes, mathematical equations, fused and blurred. So he kind of saw everything that these people were, and he's trying to isolate the memories. And he said, the only thing I can recall clearly is immense beings, 100 limbs which resemble tentacles, minds of such control and capacity that each limb is capable of performing a different function.
Yeah, I was just imagining a bunch of arms or something.
Yeah, it's just ambidexterity, but with 100 tentacles.
Oh,
huge, kaiju-sized monsters. He made it sound too.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they adapted themselves to their bodies because they chose the Enterprise as the best vessel for the trip.
They can't, and he says that they're literally so heavy that they wouldn't be able to get off the turbo lift. So that's why they had to be in those human forms, right?
Yeah, which is weird.
It's kind of weird because maybe they were just straight up tentacles because you were saying, they could feel now and they can smell or see or whatever and touch.
Yeah, they couldn't do that when they were tentacles? What the hell?
They're super used to being in compact spaces.
Just a bunch of tentacles in a little box? That sounds like a shitty way to
ships,
live.
Though they're probably massive.
Probably pretty big ships.
I wonder if there were any pieces of it or if it dissolved. Maybe they went on escape pods or something.
So
that'd be a good side episode.
Absolutely.
What happened before the ship got there? The Enterprise?
What?
What happened before the Enterprise got there?
Oh, the big tentacle monsters rolling around and we gotta find a ship to come get us.
I guess we can look like this.
Yeah, I sense the Enterprise. So they want to set up a counter field to counteract the paralysis field on the ship, right? And they got to get Bones and Spock up there somehow. So Kirk says, Spock, you're sick. You're so sick. Look at you. You're yellow. You're sick. And he goes, I'm in perfect health, Captain. He goes, no, you're dying. Mr. McCoy's got to give you an examination up on the ship. And he's trying to get Spock to do one of his Vulcan meditation things where it looks like he's super sick or sleepy. And then they're going to take him up. And Spock says, it's better than what you guys call a vacation. And he's like, well, fucking do it. So this is funny. Spock says, I need a moment to prepare. He touches his head, and then he falls over on his ass. Right?
Yeah.
Now, you would think that part of preparing... Oh, they catch him. But you would think part of preparing would be sitting down.
Or lying down.
Or telling them, hey, I'm going to tip over.
Yeah.
Very funny. He's in like a little
knocks himself out.
He's in a hibernatorious state. They're going to get him up on the ship, and we got pink shirt, pink jumpsuit guy played by, let's see, who's
and
he?
This is
Robert Fortier.
This is just one of many like tricks too that we see the Enterprise crew pull on these aliens.
I can't believe
that's how it fucking avalanches into what the episode ends up being.
So the alien, like this happens on Star Trek a lot, where they meet these like very smart aliens, or whatever, but like they outsmart the aliens. Like, so how smart were the aliens?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
maybe they don't know what the human form is at all.
Maybe. So basically, Spock is pretending to be sick. Bones is going to help him, and they're trying to trick the Kelvins into giving him some fucking space. Yeah, so basically, this is it. The show's over. Enterprise is going to be controlled by Kelvins forever, and there you go.
No, and I think this is like when Kirk starts to kind of get to know the Kevlins more, and start to make his moves on the what's her name, Sophie Turner or whatever, actress.
So we're gonna get to all of that, but basically this lady's talking about flowers, and she's like, they look like this fragile thing. We call them saphir in our galaxy, and that's when Kirk says a rose by any other name, and a quote from great human poet Shakespeare.
Of course,
well, he's more of a playwright, but that which we call a rose by any other name. Good smell is sweet. I love how the captioning gets Kirk's pauses like right on. Like when I read it with the captioning, it's like the same timing that he has. So now the ship is being controlled by a couple Kelvins and the crew, and now they're going up to warp 11, which is faster than they're supposed to be able to go.
Well, the hull used to shake at warp 8 or 9.
Right?
Or 9 or 10.
Yeah, exactly. 10 was the fastest.
10 was the worst,
yeah. And so Kirk says, hey, Kelvin Daddy Rojan, I want to go check on my boy in sickbay.
Yeah.
And he doesn't go to sickbay, though. He goes to where Spock and Bones and
McCoy.
Scotty,
excuse me.
Are trying to break the paralysis filter. And then they go up and they find the paralysis filter, and it's a bunch of cylinders that are about the size of a 2-liter bottle. And they're impenetrable because they're made of a substance that's never been found on any planet in this galaxy. So they're not going to be able to penetrate it. They're not going to be able to get into it. The Enterprise is propelled by antimatter reactors. The barrier we must traverse is negative energy. Oh, so that's when they...
Oh, yeah. This part is like, wasn't it they're going to have to pull the doomsday trigger or whatever? And
they're going to kill the ship.
Antimatter and matter together.
So Spock is like, well, if we can't stop the paralysis field... When we get in the barrier, we're going to have to vent the antimatter and just blow the fucking ship up.
Yeah.
And Scotty, of course, is like, well, if we must, we must.
Dude,
but
it's a very dark scene.
He says, I can't say I like it. Well, it's like...
Nor I.
So killing...
They decide this in like 3 seconds, too.
Do they
like,
think...
Well,
Like, do they think if they don't... take the Kelvins through the barrier, like, or do they think that if they don't take the Kelvins to the other galaxy, that like the the rest of the Kelvins are never going to come invade our galaxy? Like,
I have no idea. This is such a super weird scenario.
And it's not 300 years to the barrier. The barrier's close.
Yeah.
At warp 11. It's going to be 300 years to the Andromeda galaxy once they get out of the Milky Way galaxy. Right. Which is hilarious because they're going, like, we see it in future shots, right?
Yeah.
They're approaching the Andromeda galaxy in the distance, and it's like, oh, they're just going to look out the window and see that, but slightly closer for 300 years. But yeah, so they're going to, I just don't get it. So they're going to blow up the fucking ship. Well, basically, why wouldn't they just deal with it? They have 300 years to figure it out.
Yeah, it seems like they were giving up really soon, too, and also that, I don't know, it seemed like an impromptu, like, last-minute scenario, like, oh, they're just never going to get through. Like, we cannot let this planet or universe get conquered. This is really a doomsday thing. We got to do the right thing. We got them all here. We better ask Kirk, though, first.
Yeah, and Kirk is like, you fucking nut. Fuck? No.
Yeah.
And they say this right as they're approaching the bridge. That's what you meant. Like, I got what you meant when you said it's like last minute thing. Yeah. They're like in the turbo lift, and they're like, yeah, so Kirk, when we get to the barrier, we should blow up the fucking ship. Kirk's like, there's 400 people on the ship still, bro. Like, no. Did they already
make it? It feels like
a
last resort. Oh, and it's like halfway through the episode too.
Look at how that's such an adorable button. So they're approaching the barrier, and this is what we call in the business dramatic irony, because we, the audience, know something that the Kelvins don't know. Right. That Kirk and the crew are conspiring to blow up the ship. Right? So we're watching Kirk sweating it out like, am I going to give the order to blow up the fucking ship?
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, it's great. It's it's one of those good, tense Star Trek scenes. Yeah. Scotty's face acting. You were on hilarious. One that day, I tell you, boy. And so they're just approaching the barrier. Sophie Turner's nowhere to be found in the close-ups. And then they get through it. But wait, what are we? Are we?
Oh,
no, they're not through it yet.
Yeah,
that's a weird commercial break.
That wasn't just me.
That was a weird cut.
They get. I think they're still approaching, and they're about to rig it up on Kirk's signal.
Well, so they're gonna go into the barrier, and so Scotty and Spock are and Spock is even telling him there's radiation and negative energy in there.
Everything's
Kirk.
negative.
Like. Kirk, just so remember when we were in the elevator 2 minutes ago and I said you should kill 400 people that you've known for years?
Yeah, right.
And then when they enter the barrier, the outside temperature of the hull is rising. They're going to shake around a little bit. And Kirk seems to, the button that Scotty might push, it's blinking. It's half purple and half green. And Kirk says no. Then they shake around and bop around.
They never press it, huh?
Yeah, no, he doesn't do it. And then, of course, we find out that the Kelvins knew all along, too, that they were going to do that.
How, though? Was it through, like...
They're just
superhuman.
They never fucking explain that shit.
Yeah. I guess that's the other hole.
They said that the tentacle monster bodies had like impossibly smart minds or whatever.
Maybe when that chick got mind penetrated by Spock, she like took Spock's thoughts too.
Yeah. Oh, maybe just like Spock took her thoughts. She took Spock's thoughts. But a wrench goes in the works because after they get through the barrier, now we got like 30 years before we have to. Now we can start figuring out our plan.
Yeah, right.
We won't even have to get to repopulating the ship because we'll be able to get out of here by then.
It goes right back to what you were saying, how they just totally should have relaxed and Spock should have been like, maybe we shouldn't blow up this ship right away. Maybe they were probably nervous about the barrier regardless, but still.
I guess, to be fair,
such a bad idea.
They're the only ship to ever leave the fucking galaxy ever. True. So unless they're the only one that's going to come back. And this is where we kind of get into the act 2.5 of it all. Yes. Because after they get through the barrier, Hanar or Rojan goes up to that twat Hanar and he's like, hey, Hanar, begin the neutralizing. I'm sorry, I said twat. By the way, begin the word neutralizing. You'd have to see him.
Yeah, right.
Dude
he's such an asshole.
Yeah, he's just a weasel.
He has a punchable face.
Yep, and this is where Rojan says, "So we don't need all of you around. We don't. You take up too much space. You're going to conspire against us." We only need like you four, and then we're gonna turn everybody else into dice.
And again, this part I also don't get, where it's like there's not enough food to take us there, and it was like, oh well, you talked up big game about fixing the hull and souping up the Enterprise with all these things. You could add in a couple more food receptacles
or a replicate,
or
get some actual replicators.
Yeah, like what the hell? No holodeck.
Oh no! He says we have. As for the bridge crew, we can trim some fat up here too. He says we will have no need for communications,
and he's like, oof.
Makes Uhura turn into a dice. Why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to communicate with the other Kelvins?
It was weird. It was like, well, we're only going to one place, so we don't need a navigator either.
Yeah, we don't need a navigator with terrible wigs. Chekhov, you're a porous.
You're out.
You are now a porous granite dice.
And he's like, you three, I don't know what you guys do.
I do think this is fun and awesome, though, when they're showing the ship after everybody's been turned into dice, and it's just like a pad or their shirt. It's not shirts,
God,
but it's just like their pads and like they're like pads for writing and they're like phasers or communicators and.
You know what would have been horrible though and hilarious if Kirk's like, how he sees them all in the hallway, he like turns around and trips on a cube and steps on one. He's like, oh god,
I don't know who that was. We're not gonna know until we bring them all back.
Oh no! So he like steps on another one.
So then Kirk walks into the mess hall and he meets Bones and Spock and
like a senior staff meeting.
Who's the fourth person? Is it Scotty? And Scotty, and they're the ones that they thought were worthy of that they needed, basically. And then Johnny Pinkshirt comes in.
Oh yes, the first victim.
And this is where so they're put together. So they kind of figure out, hey, we could they've never like really experienced shit, and that's what Spock thinks with his when he's remembering her memories. He's like, they're missing something.
And also too, what triggers it is they're all eating, all four of them, and then the guy in the shirt comes up and is like,
Tomar.
Oh, Tomar, yeah. He's like, hey, why do you guys do this stuff? Like, what are you doing?
And then he shakes some pills and he's like, our doctor figured out this is all you need, these fucking pills.
Right.
And then Scott Bones is like, but that is not a culinary experience or some shit. And Bones goes and gets him some food, and he eats it, and he really likes it. And this is where they put together their plan. They see the guy, Tomar, eating the food, and they go, we can use vices against these motherfuckers. And so
really go all out.
And so this is where he says, the isolated glimpses of Kenda's consciousness are beginning to coalesce in my consciousness. The Kelvins have superior intellectual capacity.
Adam, this is them explaining why the superhuman aliens aren't that superhuman.
Right. So to achieve it, they had to become humans, and then now they're becoming actual humans.
Oh, because it's melding, right?
Yeah. So now they can really get them, distract them with the stimulating their senses, and we can get those devices from their belts. And Scotty says, I can think of a way right off.
Yes,
and he walks over to Tomar and he's like, would you be needing something to wash that down, laddie? And he's like, have you ever heard of Scotch whiskey?
Yeah, he goes right into it.
And then it cuts to Hanar and Bones. And Bones is like,
this part's fucked.
Bones is like, hey, yeah, you got problems, man. you got to get 5 of these shots a day. You need a high potency vitamin regimen, man. We need to shoot you full of this stuff. And then
I want to see you tomorrow, okay?
And then it cuts to Tomar drinking with Scotty. And this is a great sequence because Scotty and Tomar just drink all of Scotty's booze in it, and they because Kirk is trying to take care of the lady played by Leslie. Barbara Boucher.
Yeah.
Barbara Boucher, Kalinda.
Kalinda, yes.
All right.
So Kirk's
gonna
care of
seduce
Kalinda.
her.
Yeah.
Bones has got Hanar. And Scotty.
Bones has Hanar.
Yeah. And Scotty has Tomar, getting him drunk.
Mixing them up.
And then this is what's gonna make fuck with Rojan is Kirk is hoping he's gonna get jealous of him moving in on his lady. And they're all very confused about this, and Kirk is like,
and that leaves Spock and Rojan.
Yeah, they're playing chess or whatever.
Those scenes are these scenes are so great because Kirk basically plays it off as like, oh well, this is pretty much how human beings say sorry to one or another, you know?
Yeah, because he punched her.
And
he's like, are you sore where I hurt you? And she's like, no. No, I'm fine.
Let me show you how we forgive each other here, and just
this is an apology.
Out.
Yeah, and he grabs her and kisses her, and she goes, "Is there a significance to this action?" And he's like, you can tell he's kind of bummed that she wasn't immediately into it. And he goes, well, among humans, it's meant to express warmth and love.
Yeah, right.
It's like Kirk isn't often, and then she's like, oh, you're trying to seduce me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, these aliens are too dumb. I have been studying you.
And then he's like, you've been studying me. And she says, all humans, this business of love, you have devoted much literature to it. Back to the literature connection with Shakespeare.
True. And Kirk has like a whoa look on his face, you know.
And she says, it doesn't make any sense that you all put so much interest and time into worrying about a single biological function, sex. And Kirk says, we enjoy it.
Yeah, right.
We enjoy it. And she says, literature? And he goes, Kalinda, I'm sorry I brought it up.
So it kind of fails, kind of works. I guess it's
plants the seed.
Yeah, it's a little Inception deal, you know.
And then she kisses him, and then they're kissing, and Rojan comes in. And Rojan, and then she kisses Rojan after Kirk leaves, and he doesn't know what's going on. This Rojan guy is totally like a sitcom dad, man.
Yeah, he's
got he wears a peach jacket and's got no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, he's like super weird creatures, these humans.
Now, the more I'm thinking about it, the more it makes sense that it's because they became humans to fit in with the crew of the Enterprise. Yeah. Now they're becoming just dumb fucking humans. And then it cuts to Scotty and Tomar still drinking.
Yeah, right.
And Scotty's running out of booze. He's got to go into
bottles on the table.
Yep, and then this is where Rojan. Oh, one second here. This is where Rojan and Spock are playing 4-dimensional chess or whatever, 3-dimensional chess. Yes. And this is where Spock, Rojan is like, I don't understand all this business of love and such, but. And I don't know why apologies have to be made by pressing mouths together. It doesn't make any sense to me. Kalinda has no affection for Captain Kirk, and Spock is like, your game is off. Maybe it's because you're jealous. Are you disturbed by the incident?
And Rojan's like, why should I be disturbed? And Spock's like, well, I mean, you've hung out with Kalinda for some time. She is Kelvin, just as you are.
Yeah, and now
you guys hang out a lot. You stand next to each other a lot.
And now he's saying that, because you're human, it seems like you're being human jealous right now. And he's like, I'm not jealous. And Spock is like, Captain Kirk finds her quite attractive. And he goes, she is attractive. And Spock's like, so you are jealous?
He's like, no. Well,
Very good sequence.
Well, people, when they're jealous, they're kind of off their game. They tend to get distracted. And Rohan's like, well, I'm not jealous. And then he loses. The next move, Spock's like, checkmate.
I love it. We're just showing how dumb these beings are becoming.
And it cuts right back to Scotty hard at work here.
Yeah, James Doohan, who plays Scotty, he does a really good job of somehow acting more drunk every time.
He crushed it.
Because there's 5 of these scenes where they drink a different bottle of booze. They're not even to the fancy old scotch that he's hiding yet.
No, and it
looks like a stone bottle.
Yeah, and it's one of my favorite lines of the episode, though, where what is it? Tomar, he's like, what is this next bottle here? And he's like, I don't know, it's green. And he just starts pouring it in his cup. Yeah. All the way to the rim too.
And then we get all the drinking stuff is fucking great in this. Then we get Rojan and Kalinda having a bit of a not lovers quarrel because they don't have love. But she's saying, you've told me that we're superior, and if I want to do stuff with Kirk, I can. And now, and Rojan's like, I'm gonna neutralize your Captain Kirk and all the other humans as well if you don't fucking get in line. And she's like, you're touching my arm, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's giving Jonah Hill vibes here.
Yeah.
It was creepy though.
So
he's just like, stop whatever you're doing.
And then they stop, and it cuts to them flying towards the Andromeda Galaxy, 300 years in the future. Like you can see it 300 years in the distance, basically. and Bones is still pumping Hanar full of whatever drugs, and he's just like, I see no reason for you to refer to yourself in the Oh, my God. Yeah, so Bones says, we're just going to give you this shot, and then we'll see how things go. And he goes, I see no reason for you to refer to yourself in the plural. Like, that guy is fucking wound up. And then it gets to the last thing. Scotty says, all I have is a very, 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 very old bottle of scotch. And he goes and takes the helmet off of a suit of armor he has in the corner, and it's got a bottle of scotch in it that looks like it's 300 fucking years old.
And it's all dusty.
Yeah, and he just pops the top, and they get into it.
He gets fucking pissed, though. He's like, I can't believe I'm opening this for you, but
I'm
saving our lives.
I'm saving the galaxy.
Yeah, the galaxy. Yeah, seriously.
So then it cuts to Spock.
Fuck you.
Spock, Bones, and Kirk are in like the common area or whatever, and they're just laughing about how things have been going, and they're like, we haven't seen Tomar or Scotty in hours.
Yeah.
And then she comes in and she wants to speak to him alone, Kalinda.
Oh, and Spock totally gets the idea, though. He knocks Bones on the shoulder. He's like, let's bounce.
Spock, of all people, is the one that picks up on the cues.
He's logical, though. He's like, hey, Kirk's got to do more mind tricking here.
And she says, I do think she says, you understand that you're too preoccupied with sex, right? And he goes, yes, we do think about it a great deal. She says, I've done some supplemental reading on it, and she's got a question. What's this question? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering, would you please apologize to me again?
Fucking A, dude. And
I was like, oof.
Sophie Turner looking motherfucker. And Kirk is like, hey, I get to make out with this lady again.
Yeah.
You really can see how much you can really see how much he hates his job.
Yeah, he couldn't just like be mean or do something else.
Well,
I don't know, I guess.
Well, you've got to play to your strengths.
Yeah, right. That's true.
And then
yeah, she looked smoking when she said that, though.
Right? Sansa Stark.
Shout out.
And then Hanar and Rojan have an argument on the bridge, and Rojan slaps the captain's chair, and his navigator up front, like, she turns around, and is like, what the fuck is going on back there? And he's like, oh, because they're all becoming human right before our eyes.
Yeah, he's getting angry.
They're overreacting and shit.
Yeah, it's an emotion.
And she was told to find out everything about him. And then this is where Spock comes in, and he's like, hey, man, Kirk, and they basically, Rojan ends up asking in a roundabout way, where's Kirk? And Spock's I saw him a while ago. And he's like, was he alone? And she's like, no, your wife was there. Kalinda was there. And she looked like she was all ready to apologize some more.
Yeah.
And Spock actually says, it would appear that you have little control over her. Ooh. Yeah, he's basically like calling him a cuck.
No, and then he goes, or that Captain Kirk has perhaps more control.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, wow, this guy's Spock is just like, dude, that's the alley-oop right there, you know?
Yeah, that Spock dropping the phaser knowledge.
Yeah, seriously.
And then it cuts to Scotty and Tomar finally finishing up that bottle of scotch. And Tomar says, I feel rather strange. And then
he just tips right over.
Oh my God, it's the funniest fucking thing. 44 minutes and 25 seconds in. This guy in a pink jumpsuit, he pauses, he bangs his head on the fucking table in front of him, and then he just tips over dead.
He like seizes out.
Scotty outdrank a spaceman.
Yeah, and Scotty's like,
almost.
God, we did it. We did it, you and me, you son of a bitch.
Simon Pegg really was perfect casting for him, man. You see that? Because with young, skinny Doohan, And then he's got to go find the captain because he got the guy's belt thing, but he passes out on the way.
But, I mean, hey, it was those couple seconds that mattered. He was like, I gotta let the rest of the crew know. And he's walking out of a little dorm, and then
his little dorm, his
quarters. Yeah, sorry.
Oh shit! Don't do this. Hilarious.
He leans over and hunches over and passes out with his communicator in his hand. Like he's leaning on it.
I'm laughing both at you telling that story about what we just watched, and also at the scene happening next. While
this is why this episode just turns up at the end for me. Really,
I like it more than I remember from when I gave it my initial rating and shit.
It's so what's the second half?
So Rojan busts in on Kirk and Kalinda getting close. And Rojan pulls Kirk away, and then Kirk slaps his face. Kirk just fucking wrestling slaps him, front of his hand slaps him.
He's like, what?
And Rojan is you can see him turn into a human 100%. And he gets mad, and Kirk slaps him twice. That's right.
He's like, smack.
What? And then he just attacks him, and they fight.
It's stunt double shit.
That's stunt doubles for sure. They're far away. Both those people are stunt doubles. I was surprised at how they. We'll talk about it in the next episode, I think. But there's a couple times when I would think they would have used stunt doubles, and they didn't.
Don't. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're fighting, and I just want to click forward a little bit here.
Yeah, this is right at the very end here when everything gets resolved.
And this is where Kirk explains, "You were trying to kill me for taking your woman. You were jealous. Why would a Kelvin do that?
Dun, dun,
would a Kelvin be jealous? You are no longer Kelvin. Over the last, you have turned into us. You are humans now with humans' emotions. You are a human." And boy, he doesn't want to be human. They fight some more. Kirk puts him in a full Nelson, punches him in the head. And then dude just gives up. And he's like, to use this ship, you have to use our form, and now you're stuck with it. And your descendants for the next 300 years, when you get to fucking Kelvin, you're not even going to be Kelvins anymore. You're going to be humans, and they're going to be like, who are you motherfuckers?
Yeah, especially because they're expecting their great-grandkids to be leading the expedition here at the end.
Right? He says, you'll be aliens, you'll be enemies, and this is where the Kelvin is like, we have a duty. It's just like your mission to find new worlds for your people to live in. And this is where Kirk turns the tables on him. He's like, look, you don't have to fucking conquer people.
Like you just said before.
You could just live here.
Yeah.
You could just be in there. He's like, there are many planets in this galaxy and that can be inhabited. And they basically, he convinces this guy, we can't welcome you as enemies, but we could welcome you as friends. And so this is what's so fucked up because remember when they killed a lady?
Yeah, right.
Remember when they killed that poor lady on the planet?
They turned her into a rock
turned her into a rock and crushed her into dust. And now Kirk is like, hey, let's get you guys in the Federation.
And Spock is leaning on the door frame outside, and he's like, Rohan, you were just following an order, for 300 years ago. It's not your fault, buddy.
Yeah, you're just a guy now. Just be a guy.
Yeah, right. It's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? And then it's funny that you bring that up now. Just seeing her immediately. No, but I was just thinking of the red shirt lady just being immediately crushed.
They're just like, ah, dude, remember they killed that lady 12
hours ago? You were just following orders, man. Come on.
12 hours ago, they killed that lady. And then Rojan goes, well, Kalinda, would you stay with Captain Kirk? And it's funny because I just imagine Kirk off camera going, no, I hope she doesn't. He's like, no, I can't be tied down. I don't care how much Sophie Turner you look like. And she says, no, I want to stay with you. She's like, now that I kind of know what love is, I think I want to have it with you, which is kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Even though he killed a lady 12 hours ago.
This feels very much like the Menagerie ending, though, where it was like everything just kind of worked out in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or like a minute and a half.
And it's something they suggested at the beginning.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
And Kirk says, after Rojan makes out with Kalinda, Kirk says, you see, Rojan, being human does have certain advantages.
You feel that?
Being able to appreciate the beauty of...
You feel that? Those aren't butterflies. That's called an erection.
You'll learn all about it in our tapes. But this is where the title comes into play again. He says, you can being able to appreciate the beauty of a flower. Also, boners or a woman. Fucking great, man.
Yeah, seriously. And then he goes, just give up the ship. And Rohan's like, I'm just giving the command of the ship back to...
Rohan walks over and says, hey, Kirk's back in command. But here's the thing. They say, Kirk's back in command.
Yeah.
And then Kirk goes, okay. And he smiles. And then it cuts to Scotty and Bones. Oh my God, them turning around. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. That blows my fucking mind. Hold on, I gotta throw this Kleenex away from earlier.
This turned up to 5.
So at the end, Rojan's like, yeah, I guess we'll just. Oh, and we didn't mention that their whole solution was you're gonna live on the planet where we found you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be your planet now. And they're like, all right. And then Rohan goes over to the console, he pushes the button, he says, I'm returning command of the Enterprise back to Captain Kirk, which that seems really official for pirates. You know, right? Like I'm returning as though this is a peaceful transition of power. Yeah. And he says, and then Kirk says, oh, well, all right. And then it shows Scotty and Bones in the doorway laughing. Just laughing.
Gosh, yeah.
And then it cuts to a shot of the Enterprise pulling a fucking Yui.
Yeah.
It's just turning around. It's just Bones and Spock sitting in the hallway and leaning in the just casual, like they're on a porch, just laughing. And then it cuts to the ship turning around. And you know what they've made no mention of? All of the people that are dice. All of the poorest dice. Like he says, I'm giving command of the Enterprise back to Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk says, thanks. I think we're going to figure all this out. Bones and Spock laugh and laugh. And every second after that, they kept people dice. Like Kirk should have said, yes, now let's get back to unneutralizing everybody.
Yeah.
Like it just really.
We didn't get a neutralizing scene.
Yeah. Oh,
I guess that was just intended. But that shot of them just fucking pulling a Yui. Could you imagine if it was just a big ass ship full of these people with limbs? And it was like families, right? Because Spock said 300 years.
Yeah.
And then they all fucking died, and there's 5 of them, and they're like, well, I guess we still have these belts, so if anybody comes, maybe we could use this thing. And they're just hoping to go back, and Kirk's like, you know what? Just repopulate here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll help you out. We'll send. That's fine.
You won't be crazy again,
we're not
right?
We're not even going to mention that you killed a lady 12 hours ago. You crushed her into dust after turning her into a large chorus.
Who's going to write her mother a letter?
Yeah. Kirk, and so Kirk will call her mom.
Yeah, right.
And be like, she died on an away mission like so many people under my command. And her mom will be like, well, I'm surely you punished the people who killed her. He's like, well, if by punish you mean we left them on the beautiful planet where we found them.
And taught them love.
And we taught we just taught them how to love and... now that I think about it, we did kind of kill them with kindness. What did you do to punish the guy who murdered that lady? We taught him how to love. And that's it. He's not doing that from prison.
Though, we kicked him off.
Dude, Hanar,
there was no redemption with him.
Yeah, he never came back.
They didn't trick him.
They did. They shot him full of vitamins and shit and made him all irritable.
God.
And then he just stormed off. Yeah, dude, I was
thinking, what would be the worst way you'd like to be tricked? Seduced?
Well, I guess I would like to be tricked with drugs or alcohol. That's like the seduction thing. I'm not super into being married or whatever, and also I don't want to be shot full of vitamins and made crazy. But yeah, if somebody was like, "We've got space weed or whatever,"
oh, that's true. The drinking one.
Yeah, the drinking one, but like space weed or whatever. Weed. Yeah. That's actually there's a funny scene in the Orville, that Seth MacFarlane Star Trek show.
Oh yeah, I heard that was great.
It's really fucking funny, dude. It's pretty good. But at one point, the lady replicates a weed brownie. She says like pot brownie strong, and it like comes out in a little baggie and puts it in her pocket. It's funny. And then the Enterprise whips a Yui and just is flying away from there. Like, well, that was a fun trip to the other galaxy.
All the cubes like shift to the other side of the Enterprise inside.
Wow, I felt like we were gonna rush through this one because it's so hot in the studio right now, but we nailed it. What did you think of this episode? Don't rate it yet. Just overall impressions.
All right.
Lay it on me.
But I do have an idea what we can use for ratings of those little.
Yes, I've got it in here. Porous dice people. Yeah.
All right. The first half was really kind of weak, but I was interested. I was like, okay, cool. They freeze them, whatever. They get taken over a lot. They did escape the prison very quickly, but it was funny how they got caught immediately.
They always get caught immediately. That happened when they were on the planet where the Klingon was giving weapons to those people too.
Yeah, that's true.
They get caught immediately, and then they get away after the commercial break.
It was so weird. But then once the part with the dice and the cube happened, the porous cube, that was really when the episode turned up for me. I really was like, what's gonna happen? What's this? I really was curious about like what the answer was gonna be.
What are they gonna do?
And it was always silly. I always like it when Star Trek gets silly, where it's like the Mud's robot or whatever, where they had to just act like assholes to fuck the robot up.
They had to act erratic,
like erratic, yeah.
Ooh, erratical. That's erratical. A good dude. That's gonna be just like Riz is the 2023 word or whatever. Erratical.
And it was just they just had to act like psychos, but it was fun to see them, play to their strengths, as you said, with Kirk seducing someone,
Scotty getting drunk,
Bones being an asshole,
giving drugs and tricking somebody with drugs,
and then Spock
did the mind manipulation.
Yep, exactly. Spock. Actually, that was my favorite scenes. It turned it up to at the end. I think the latter half was way better.
And I liked all the duos. I liked that they broke them up and they were paired with a crew member and an alien, and they all had like a thing to do. You know?
Yeah,
it was good.
And I gave the spipeship, the Enterprise, it gave us some size.
Yes, absolutely.
Bigger. Yeah,
and I totally agree with you that I really agree with you. The Enterprise gets taken over a lot. And so it really kind of felt like it was going to be just a boilerplate Enterprise being taken over episode. But then when they turned those people into a cube and
I was like,
murdered that lady by crushing her cube into dust, fucked up, man.
Yeah, it was creepy.
So I thought it was good. I love that it opened with the banger composite shot right away.
It was exciting.
It really set the tone, but they sort of got off that planet pretty quick. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked how, but I definitely agree with you that the first half was a lot of the characters talking to each other, and the second half was like when shit was fun and good, and they were like figuring stuff out. Mm-hmm. And the resolution of just like, it's so crazy. The resolution where they're just like, come on back. That's fine. We'll just forget about the lady you crushed into dust.
The last shot of them turning the whole Enterprise around.
Great. So I liked it. What was your rating? How many porous dice people did you give it?
At first I was like going in with like a 3, maybe 3.5, but this latter half definitely made it a 4.
You think
4.25.
4.25, 4 and a quarter.
4 and a quarter, yeah, 4 and a quarter. It wasn't like a have to, but it's definitely one of the funnier ones.
Honestly, I was going to give it
exciting.
I was going to give it a 3.5, but then rewatching it with you and talking to the microphones about it, pushed it up to a 4 for me. I liked it. 4 porous, oddly shaped dodecahedral dice.
Yes, the dodecahedrals.
I think the dodecahedron is the 20-sided, if I'm not mistaken.
They were cool, though. I'm sure there's some fan that made a 3D print of them.
Definitely. It would take very well to 3D printing because they're porous. Yeah. Yeah, so good episode. Good episode.
Really solid.
Oh, we got to talk about the title. They kind of hit it on the head, though. A rose by any other name would smell sweet.
Realize. You didn't mention that.
Yeah, it's the whole thing where, like, even if you call a rose a piece of shit, it still smells like a rose. So,
well, I mean, I guess they were aliens.
They're humans.
Being humans.
A human by any other name is still a human. Just
I guess
you're a human, we're calling you a Kelvin. You're saying you're a Kelvin, but you're not. You're a human.
Yeah, because then it was like maybe they should turn back the Kelvins. The end of the
I don't
episode.
think they could.
Oh yeah, because they already. How did they change?
They didn't get into that.
Okay,
I just assumed they couldn't turn back into giant tentacle monsters again. Or else
that'd
they
be funny if they just threatened to do that and just like sink the shit.
Well, they never, they didn't have the budget for it, but
there's like they can't get inside the bridge because there's just one Kevlin like just filling the entire space.
all the tentacles.
Bridge. There's just tentacles, and
all the
everything.
Tentacles are doing different stuff because each one can do its own thing.
Oh, that'd be nasty. See, that sounds like more of nightmarish. So I guess they're like, they got to be humans, and they have these belts.
And they have these belts, and that's the other thing that they just like had the belts, and they didn't really have mind powers, really. And just the idea of them turning into dumb humans, I liked it.
Yeah.
So that's it for talking about By Any Other Name.
By Any Other Name.
Season 2, episode 22 of Star Trek: The Original Series. And at this point, we normally recommend some shit. What do you have to recommend?
I guess, did I recommend it last time? I don't know. There's some documentary on Netflix, actually. American Nightmare.
No,
it's
I don't think
it starts out as like the stereotypical crap, with like, the girlfriend passed away or something, and the boyfriend might be to blame, and it's all this documentary, flashy Netflix stuff. But then the twist is that the girlfriend comes back, and ruh-roh, it's not the boyfriend's fault. The boyfriend was actually telling the truth, and it is a serial killer.
Of course.
And it's like this whole fucking escapade of like the American Nightmare being that the media and the police, the police were on camera being like, these people have literally wasted police resources and the city's time trying to find a serial killer that obviously might not even exist because it's probably the boyfriend. And it's like, oh my God. And they had to sue the city, and it was this complete clusterfuck. And it was like the one exception. Well, not the one exception, but it's like because of that Gone Girl movie they kept referring to in the documentary. They're like, that damn Gone Girl movie just made everybody think that the boyfriend did it. And the boyfriend had a crazy story too. So I recommend you kind of watch a little bit of it because it's crazy.
Right on.
But it's very like, a cab, which is great. So
ACAB,
it just
baby,
slaps them in the face. So it's very
all
clear.
they do. Remember, if there's one thing I want people to take away from this
flip,
if there's one thing I want people to take away from this podcast, it's that the police only protect capital. They don't give a fuck about you. They only protect property. The end. All right,
yeah,
I'm gonna recommend.
What would you recommend?
I'm actually gonna recommend music, which I don't do very often.
Okay, switch it up.
This band Alkaline Trio that I loved, from like 2003 to 2011, and then they kind of made albums that didn't really do it for me for like 12 years. But they released their 10th record last Friday called Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs. And it's so funny. The description of the album on Apple Music is just Matt Skiba makes his full-time return for the band's 10th album. That's the entire description. Because he's the guy, Matt Skiba played in Blink-182 for 3 years when Tom wasn't in the band. He's that guy. Okay. And Alkaline Trio, I really like their first 3 records. And the reason this new one, why it's getting me a little bit, is because it's a little bit closer to what they were doing on albums called From Here to Infirmary and Good Morning, but morning is spelled with a U. Because they're goth. They're goth emo punks. But but it's good. Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs. Eyeballs. It's the album cover is just a big X because it's their 10th record. I wanted to hate it just because I get in these ruts with bands like when I really like Green Day was the same way, where I just love like a certain time period of theirs, and then they just totally lose me. Like the Get Up Kids did it too. This similar band, similar generation of emo. But it's funny because they're coming back. I think that this is the best record they've made since I stopped listening to them. So that's why I'm recommending it. And then also I've got something to recommend for the next episode. So thinking ahead.
Oh, okay. I see you. Okay.
All right. So
what's the next one?
Next week, wink, wink, we're going to be talking about the Omega Glory.
Oh, no, I just got that title now, too.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that was that was episode 53 or something of Trek in the Valley.
Yeah.
I count the bonus episodes, I guess. Maybe we're like 55. I don't know if I counted those. But anyway, thanks for listening. Do all the stuff that's in the bumper. Rate, review, tell your friends, and come on back next week.
Thank you. -1.
-1. Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials. And you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and